Our experts are going to be cracking the authenticity code. They will be sharing their unique insights on how to safeguard your brand in this rapidly evolving marketplace. And moderating this panel is Jeremy Förster. He is Global Enterprise Adoption Lead at the Cardano Foundation. Welcome, Jeremy and his panelists.
Thank you. All right, thank you. So, Your Excellencies, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today at the Cardano Summit held in Dubai. And to everyone watching on the live stream, thank you for tuning in. And for this session, I'm honored to have with me a prestigious panel of industry experts that has made it their core mission in life to unlock this code of authenticity, to bring out greater values for not only specific brands within one company, but also the industry as a whole, and change the operating model through the use of blockchain technology. And through our past discussions, what we kind of discover, and through the previous sessions, is that this is not a one-size-fits-all approach for leveraging blockchain technology. And we want to explore that deeper in this panel today. So what I'll ask for is for a self-introduction on your background and what the role of authenticity is for your industry and how this can become a value driver. And I'll start here.
Great. Yeah, thanks for having me, Jeremy, and Cardano Foundation. I'm Alex Phelan. I'm CEO and co-founder of Merchandise. And my co-founders and I have been involved in a emerging technology, not as emerging as blockchain, but it's called print on demand, and it's disrupting the $350 billion branded merchandise space. Essentially, it's selling digital merch items and then producing them one of one after an end consumer buys it. So getting rid of the need to pre-produce inventory, getting rid of the need to move large containers of finished goods all over the world, and allowing brands to be a lot more sustainable and sell a lot more authentic products.
Great.
Yeah, first of all, I want to join my colleague and say thank you to Cardano Foundation for this event. And of course, it's a privilege to be here. I represent Georgian wine industry. Basically, I'm chairman of National Wine Agency. This agency is a state agency, and it has two key missions. One is, of course, to build awareness and to market Georgian wines globally in global alcohol market. And the second is to make sure that all the wines that are on the market are in fully conformity with legislative norms and etc. So if we are talking about authenticity, I would say that it's the key for the alcohol business, for the wine business. There is organization that is called OIV, which is International Organization for Wine and every year there is Congress of this organization. So last year, the opening presentation of this Congress, and it was presenting data from the markets of alcohol products. And I was amazed that 20% of all alcohol beverages sold worldwide is actually falsified. So every fifth bottle is fraud.
Wow.
which is absolutely amazing. So I would say that, and it's different types of fraud. Let's say you can put very good wine into Bordeaux bottle, but it's fraud because wine is heavily linked to vineyard and to the place. So authenticity starts from the vineyard and goes directly to the consumer.
Great, thank you. Bjorn?
Yeah, Jeremy, first of all, thanks for having me here today. Really a pleasure. Okay, now it works. Yeah, my name is Björn. I'm a lawyer and also serial entrepreneur, and I'm co-founder of Smart Places. So Smart Places is a geolocation-based social fi platform. So we are combining augmented reality, AI technology, and also blockchain technology with, you can say, geolocation-based user experiences. So what we want to achieve, sorry, I think my mic is not working perfectly. Do you hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, it works. So what we want to create actually, as I said, geolocation-based user experiences. That means mainly we want people to explore their immediate environment, right? We want that people can reach out to their immediate environment, exploring not only other people reaching out to them, but also exploring business content, because we enable our business partners, not only local businesses, but also brands and enterprises to place virtual items on our map. So from a user perspective, that means you're an app user, you not only maybe find interesting people around, but you also can find those digital contents of our partners. This might be a 3D hologram, it also might be a media file, it also just can be a 3D object or even an NFT. So that actually opens and enables not only the digital out-of-home industry, that is one of the core markets that we are covering, but also local businesses to, let's say, promote their products in a new manner. And when it comes to authenticity, there we have actually two perspectives. On the one hand, the user perspective, because we are, you can say, different from usual social media platforms. You as a user, you will be enabled to share your thoughts, needs in your close vicinity. So that is very spontaneous. So that means it's not made up like you often have this on typical social media platforms. Here it's very spontaneous. So we want people to seize the daily life opportunities, right? And that is an understanding of authenticity and provides a new level in this regards. So I would say that is a very important aspect. Of course, we can steer this in a way because platform, we can control this in a way and provide the utility. And then following up on this, the user behavior as well. The second aspect when it comes to authenticity, that is a business perspective, right? So for our partners, of course it matters, is the platform authentic? Yes. But then secondly also in terms of reputation, because when we talk about business, of course we are always talking about reputation. And that is a big advantage that we can deliver here, because our partners, they can decide on their own what kind of content they want to place and also to make available for the users. So like I mentioned, 3D objects, if there's a brand like Adidas, they can decide on their own whether they want to put in a running sports shoe or whatever kind of content they want to provide. So they can decide and determine on their own what is the content that will be shown and in which manner they place it. And that is, I would say, important because reputation, again, that matters. And so those brands can make sure to be really authentic in terms of their perception.
Yeah, I think what you said there, Bjorn, really resonates with we have sort of like a supply chain application and a consumer application of what we call connected products, connected goods. And what you're talking about is the sort of extension of what we help our customers plug into. So, you know, we work with sports teams, entertainment brands, Fortune 500 companies to build branded merch platforms for them and try to convert as much of their traditional merch into this new model of selling an endless aisle of digital products and then producing those products one of one all over the globe at scale on a daily basis. And so because we have that one of one manufacturing, so we can essentially manufacture tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of one-off merch products on a daily basis, so kind of one of one at scale on physical products. That's sort of why we started looking at this blockchain space. And when I met Jeremy, we were talking about this idea of, well, we already have all this infrastructure built. Wouldn't it be cool if we could have a one-to-one relationship with, I mean, there's a lot of people looking at that one-to-one digital to physical relationship on chain. We're just uniquely positioned to do it because of how we run our supply chains and how everything is a unique item. And what that allows our customers to do is not only be a lot more sustainable, but it allows them to create products that are a lot more authentic to the consumer, right? So like a good example of this is we power all the merch for the USA Special Olympics. And they were selling kind of generic, just sort of like not very exciting merch products. They sell all kinds of different products with us now, and including, we're launching 4,000 individual collections for each athlete within Special Olympics. And so the basic infrastructure that we provide for what we call connected products is the ability to have a digital twin of an item that's recorded on chain, and then having some sort of a physical connection point to that item. So could be an NFC tag, could be something as simple as a QR code, honestly, and then providing an experience that doesn't require the user to know anything about blockchain. But when we start talking to particularly some of the larger licenses in sports and entertainment, there's always, so we tell them, kind of here's what's possible. And then there's always that conversation about like, well, what's next? Where could I really take this? And it could be as simple as, offering a discount code at the theme park or at the event, right?
Yep.
All the way up to exactly what you're talking about, which is this whole new way of engaging with your customers and your fans or your consumers. And so, anyways, yeah, that what you said about authenticity really resonated with what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Alex, when in your business model, the use of blockchain technology seems to be more on the enabler for these digital value adds.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So because most of the in branded merch, which really includes it includes fashion, but the bigger categories are entertainment, sports, corporate promotional products, uniforms. We deal more on that side. In the fashion space, the two biggest sort of conversations and issues are around sustainability and authenticity. And so there's this whole other category of supply chain authentication and preventing counterfeits, and exactly what your application is. We have definitely had some conversations about building some stuff like that, but we're more focused on the consumer side, on having this really unique merch item that the consumer has a deeper emotional connection to, and then having this like bi-directional digital to physical engagement point that allows the brand to continue to build utility from that product that is just a simple T-shirt or a wearable or something like a mug or something like that. And so yeah, we're more I would say we're definitely more focused on kind of like that. Customers having a deeper emotional connection to their products and continuing to get more and more value from them sort of forever through these experiences.
Yeah, I would add that I would agree with Alex, and for us it's also very, very important to have this emotional connection with the consumer because uh, nowadays there is lots of good wine on the market, and what is most important, it is of course the story behind the bottle. So when you took this wonderful bottle of Georgian wine and add this very simple solution, as Alex told, QR code, but behind this QR code there is story and there is traceability from vineyard to this particular bottle, which is very important. And also there is our part, our role as a government. We confirm that this bottle is authentic, and we are open and transparent, and we are happy to upload and show this certificate and all these procedures on the blockchain. And I would say that in wine industry there is lots of examples of this QR codes, but Georgia is the first to use blockchain for this matter.
Very cool.
Right. And on Bjorn, would you agree or disagree that the end consumer, that blockchain is being used to power the authenticity of these digital goods on the social platforms that you create?
Yeah, that's a great question. I tend to say no. Might be not the most popular answer, but maybe to put in the context here, because our main users are app users. Those are, and that is part of our business model as well, those are just people using an app, right? Like people today are using Instagram, so we want them to seamlessly connect, reach out to their environment, right? Connecting with other people, but also finding, exploring business content and so on. A kind of Pokemon Go approach, just going around, having fun and so on. So for those users, I would say they don't care at all about blockchain, right? Maybe they never heard about this. And that is fine for us because our approach is first to say, we want to reach people, right? Giving them, delivering unique utility and convince them to use the platform. It needs to be fun, entertaining, all that stuff. Later on, we have the chance and the possibility to teach and educate people, right? So to tell them more about what is behind, right? So for example, if they are grabbing a digital item, like I said, the sports shoe of Adidas, if this is an NFT, you as an app user, first you don't need to know it's an NFT, but maybe it's in the next step. Then you can think about, find maybe information, maybe from the Cardano Foundation, maybe from us delivered, like, okay, now I got an NFT, what can I do with that? What is this even, right? And then thinking more, thinking deeper, explore this whole network and the possibilities and all the benefits of the blockchain. But that is step number 2. The first step, again, in my opinion, that is actually really the feedback that we also got. It's often really more negative because blockchain, for many people, they often think it's complicated. It's like, I don't get it. It's like crypto, it's like all those negative associations that are out there. That's why, so I think that is a huge chance that we have on the one hand, but then secondly, and that's why I would say I just tend to say no, but there's also a yes component, but because of course we have already a strong Cardano community, a strong user community based on our land plots, because what we have done and what we are creating is not only an ecosystem that is delivering a mobile app that people use and having fun. What we are building in the background is a platform that is already live. So we divided the world into small hexagons, and each hexagon is an NFT and represents a piece of the real world. And those owners, those land plots, they benefit, they get rewarded for those activities that are happening on their land plot, right? So that is a community that we are building up, and that is a very strong blockchain community, because those that know what is the value of an NFT, what are the benefits of an NFT, right? They own those land plots and they get rewarded for these interactions. They also can earn, for example, if businesses are placing ads, NFTs on those represented land plots, they earn from that, right? So we have here two kind of, you can say, community groups. That is exactly part of our go-to-market strategy also. So I would say it really depends always on who are we talking, also what is the group of users we are talking about. And in our case, it's actually two groups.
Okay. Yeah, so if the end consumer does not need to know the blockchain is being used, then who is the most important stakeholder that does need to be informed that blockchain is powering our operations? And what is it that they see as kind of the value add for enhancing their operations with blockchain technology?
Well, I would say that I don't quite agree that consumer should not know that it's blockchain behind this, because for us the technology that, well, and the transparency that blockchain provides is the key in our case, because um, you cannot manipulate any data, and we are fully transparent that once again this wine is in conformity with all the norms that is set by organizations or law, or etc., etc. So as government representative, I think for us, and I'm sure producers will also agree with us that the blockchain is very important in this model, and for us it's adds value to the consumer because he's like sure that everything that is behind this QR code is authentic and cannot be manipulated. Unfortunately, during the history of wine industry, especially after there was, I don't know if you know, but there was phylloxera back in 19th century, and it was called plague of European vineyards. And after that, basically, there was ups and downs in industry, in wine industry, and unfortunately, there was even cases in 20th century. Of course, I won't name the countries now, but when producers themselves were manipulating and were adding some not so allowed substances to wine, or trying to enlarge the quantities of geographical indications, etc. So all these cases makes me think that blockchain technology is really important in our case.
Yeah, I think data security and providing access to verifying the original data set is definitely a core value driver within the wine industry. And I think one of the things that I did not fully appreciate that much and didn't know was the level of verification that happens inside a country, within governments, but that certification process is often not attached to the bottle of wine that's sold. And it'd be interesting to hear at the government level within the Ministry of Agriculture, what was this process like for connecting that data to the Cardano blockchain?
Yeah, in our case, it was like I said, we were willing to provide this data to Cardano blockchain and to use this opportunity. Basically, first when, and you know, Jeremy, very well, that first when this opportunity arose, we started like without any hesitation, because it was very important for us and for this industry once again. And there is three key players in this value chain. It's of course consumer, it's producer, and it's us, government, and all have this transparent data share in this blockchain trace. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not very good in technical terms, but you know it better. So Yeah.
Great.
And we are happy and we are ready to continue after this pilot and to make more like movement towards introducing this in the whole Georgian wine industry.
Wonderful. And Alex, for yourself, what are the kind of the core value drivers that you see with using blockchain technology?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I mean, I think, it's really interesting in different industries and use cases. I think the consumer's perception or the enterprise customer's perception of blockchain is very different. So in supply chain authentication and data verification and proving provenance of things, I think that in general, people's perception of blockchain is good in that people know generally like, yeah, blockchain is a secure way to store data. In kind of my side, more on the consumer goods in retail merch products, where apparel, drinkware, all the stuff that you buy at consumers buy at stores. I think that there was so many companies and use cases initially in blockchain where the entire value proposition is that it's blockchain, and it wasn't really like there's no additional utility value creation beyond that specific market really resonated with. And a lot of like the enterprise customers that we talk to, especially in the licensing world. So when you look at like alcohol brands, entertainment companies that have sort of done kind of like marketing plays with NFT art and things like that, and those things like didn't really resonate with the consumer for many different reasons. I mean, fundamentally the atomic product or thing that they're getting, kind of like you mentioned, Bjorn, it's like, well, okay, I got this NFT, like what do I do with it? How is this? Can I drink it? Can I wear it? Can I, like, what, is it gonna like save me money or something? And so I think that like a lot of companies are still kind of like licking their wounds from those, kind of testing the waters and having it not work. So for us, we don't even mention blockchain at all when we go talk to these big licenses. We just purely focus on the value that it's delivering to their consumers or their fans, right? So, one-of-one merch, getting rid of your inventory, endless aisle of super creative designs that could be even personalized or super niche, and then having this whole new way of engaging with your consumers or fans, especially in a licensing model where traditionally you're like just licensing out that IP to some other brand that's going to kind of control the whole thing. We put that control back in their hands by giving them a store that they control, it's their data, and now giving them this whole new way to engage with connected products. At some point in the conversation, when you're talking to the technical team and you're actually getting into the details of integration, we're not hiding the fact that it's blockchain, but a lot of times in those initial like pitch conversations and meetings, if you say like the word blockchain or NFT or something like that, it's just like it immediately gets shut down. And so I think going back to your point about the consumer, at least in our industry, fundamentally it's only as good as the value that it's delivering to the end consumer and to the enterprise customer, that we work with, the brand or the license. And yeah, kind of like I said earlier, the two big categories that I see in our industry, and a lot of this applies to retail in general, especially on the supply chain side, but it's like the supply chain authentication, protecting against counterfeits, which is not nearly 20% in our industry, but it's still it's very significant. and then sustainability, right? So you know, ensuring that products are produced in a sustainable way, you know, where people are not being taken advantage of, and it's not, you know, trashing the environment. But yeah, in our sort of on our side, it's these like consumer experiences and creating products that people have a deeper emotional connection to, especially Gen Z and Gen A. Everybody wants things like super personalized and something that speaks to them. You know, a lot of sort of traditional mass market brands don't resonate with them as much, and so they're trying to find new ways to sort of engage and connect with them. But yeah, that's kind of the big unlock for us in our industry.
Great.
For smart places, you can say important parts of our ecosystem are on the blockchain. So on the one hand, the NFT landlord map that I mentioned. So it's not only a digital asset, but it's also an NFT. And then the second component, that is the data monetization model that we have. So we call it connect to earn. So like I mentioned, you as a landlord owner, you will be rewarded with tokens for those interactions that are taking place on your landlord, right? And those both components, there it's for us really important, and that's why we started also with that, users really understand that. But again, in this case, in this regards, we are talking about crypto users, blockchain educated, experienced users, right? And there again, it matters, and that's in our opinion, kind of best case scenario, because there you have the benefits of the blockchain and you have people that know about this, at least a little bit, right? Hopefully more, but and again, what we can do is to onboard more and to educate and to also explain what we are doing and why we are doing this, and also what the potentials are. But when it comes to the business perspective again, right? I would say, like Alex, you also mentioned, most of the time you shouldn't not even mention the term blockchain. Also, NFTs not. Sometimes that's the one exception. Like I mentioned, we are focusing on the digital out-of-home advertising market, right? So in terms of businesses, for those, most of the time NFTs are not interesting, because what they do at the moment, we all know that we have billboards, digital billboards. That's one of those tools that they are using. It's a kind of limited business in a way. And NFTs are not interesting in this regard. It's changed now a bit, and that is also what we experience in the talks with many of those advertisers, that they understand, okay, if now their offers are not anymore limited to digital billboards, but now there is, like in our case, the possibility to place holograms, interactive holograms, or even AR media files where there might be a QR code that then people can, you know, find out more, and then also including this NFT component. So that is a kind of exception, I would say, where that element really plays a role. But just to be honest, we all, I think, know in this regards that it's just the naming, right? Because for those businesses, they actually don't care about the real benefit of, for example, an NFT and this blockchain benefits behind. They just use it kind of as a keyword, as a buzzword, and even then they need to decide, is this something that is really positive, or is this maybe more something that they don't want to use, and so avoid this term. The second customer group we have, those are not advertisers, those are just local businesses, right? Because we also enable, for example, restaurants, just local entrepreneurs and businesses to also place virtual items on the map and make it available for our users. And there it's actually a bit different, because then it really depends on each entrepreneur. If there's someone who has this background and who is interested in this kind of technology and maybe also directly want to attract those kind of users because it's maybe his or her business model, then we partially really get this feedback like, okay, amazing, you're also covering that, because that is for us very, very helpful. But again, then it completely depends on the industry that those small entrepreneurs and enterprises are active in. So again, for us, it depends in the end, like what is the customer group, and since we are covering not only digital out of home but also local entrepreneurs, that is completely different.
Now, there's something you've said kind of repeatedly on our panel in general, which is about a company may not want to hear the fact that you're using an NFT, but not all NFTs are created equally, and especially when we think about the technical functionality. Is there anything that's more specific as to your use of the Cardano blockchain that differentiates you for your actual solution versus, say, a lightweight copy-paste use of blockchain technology that would refer to a data hash representing an asset or NFT?
Yeah, I can start. So, yeah, first of all, I want to give a shout out to the Ada Anvil guys here. So they're here over at that table. So we actually we did an initial proof of concept with Cardano Foundation for the World Cup of Lacrosse, which was an event that we power all of the merch for them, and we were powering merch for their event as well. And really cool proof of concept. We learned a lot. There was a lot of elements that wouldn't scale well in larger applications and like more mass market kind of applications. So we've been working with the Ada Anvil team for the last few months along with Cardano Foundation, on a much more robust and scalable version of this, and simple things like being able to use a QR code instead of NFC tags. I can't tell, like, phones are not really good at reading the flexible wearable NFC tags on clothing. They're really great at reading NFCs in payment terminals and on subways and things like that. So when you have 1 million consumers buying something at for a mass market brand, or 50,000 people purchasing something at a music festival, those are the types of things that you have to really watch out for. And using QR codes in a way that is still secure and provides that level of confidence that somebody's not going to just copy it or counterfeit it. We have been working really hard with the Ada Anvil team on that, and so yeah, we actually have this shirt that we're wearing, and we're going to be giving out to some people at the show. Sort of showcases this technology of being able to scan a QR code, which almost anybody can do at this point, authenticating with either your Google, your Google account, or Discord, which almost everybody has, one of those two things, and then getting a reward that is essentially burned after a one-time usage of that. So that was a huge unlock for a lot of the deals that we're working on right now, and that would not have been possible kind of without the Cardano Foundation and the Cardano ecosystem.
All right.
They can speak about it more technically than I can. I'm just the merch guy, but
yeah, I would say same. I'm just winemaker in this case, but I would say that as I said, there is lots of different ways that wine business is using to make sure that customer knows that this product is authentic. Like there is some tags, there is some marks, there is some black roosters, etc., etc. So basically, and our QR code is one of them. And of course, I think that we can really scale this on the whole wine business. And for me personally, it's very important that behind this is blockchain, and it's Cardano blockchain. Because once again, even though maybe now there is consumers that still don't quite understand, and there is producers that still don't quite understand what is blockchain and what is behind this data in storage in blockchain. But sooner or later, consumers and producers will be more educated, and they will more eagerly use this blockchain technology in this case. And I mean, we are already there, and we are happy that we are first to use this blockchain for our data transparency. So basically, I think that it's scalable, and future is really on this technology.
Okay.
I would say, when it comes to NFTs, of course, not each NFT. There are several kind of NFT for us. That's just the reaction that we got and the feedback that we got from our customers and from the businesses. It's less like what kind of NFT and what kind of maybe utility or technology behind. Actually more important, I mean, now talking about those customers that at least know a bit about blockchain, right? So having a kind of knowledge level already, but for them, the blockchain itself matters always. And what I experienced was that, I was a bit surprised about this, that Cardano was seen often relatively positively in this regard. So people, those that are into blockchain a little bit and have a little bit of knowledge in this regards, they see what Cardano is, as what kind of benefits Cardano has. They see this high level of decentralization. They see also, for example, here in Dubai, what has been achieved when it comes to authorities, institutions, and how blockchain can be used also, right? And that also helped us a lot, because then we can say it's not only an NFT, it's not only blockchain, but see what's possible in other industries. See what kind of authorities and institutions are relying on this technology, on blockchain, on Cardano. And then we have a positive argument, a good argument, and that helps. And I would say that is, for us, actually the most important aspect in this regards when we talk about that.
I mean, that's great for opening these doors. And I think then what follows that is really getting to a mass market solution, or scaling a solution to a nation state level. And what is difficult is often thinking about the next industry segment for what we presently value as our solution, and what our next round customers are going to value. And so, like, what challenges have you had to overcome in scaling out your current solutions, and how large do you see the industry changing, due to blockchain enabled authenticity?
Yeah, I mean, going back to sort of this QR code, I mean, it seems kind of silly, but one of the big deals that we've been working on is with I can't say the name, but it's a company that has a lot of theme parks globally, and they have a ton of intellectual property. We've been working on a deal with them where, with merchandise, you're going to be able to get customized park gear for your family, right, or your group, right? So go to the site, select your products, select the IP that you want. Maybe the IP that Aunt Betty wants is a little bit different than IP that Cousin Greg wants, or whatever. And so everybody gets templates based on the IP that they want, personalized with your name and or group name. That's already a cool unlock, right? To have personalized park gear for your group that's officially licensed. And so the second part of that is having a connected products experience where you're actually registering the product, claim like registering it to your account, which is essentially, claiming a token in a custodial wallet, right? And then there's all kinds of sort of loyalty rewards programs that can be built on top of that. It could be as simple as, make sure you go to this area and get a discount on this thing, all the way up to starting to gamify that experience, all the way up to some super advanced AR gamified sort of experience, kind of like what you're delivering, Bjorn. And there's just there's like little things that can really hold up the deal, and having to use NFC tags was one of those things. Like it came up, well, what happens when our customer service line is clogged up with all these park fans that don't know how to tap a tag, So little things like that, just making it, one half is making sure that what you're building is actually valuable and a big value add to that market, but then also making sure that the way that you can, the tech can work for everyone and that it's scalable. So I feel really excited about where we're at with that now.
Yeah, we're running out of time, but I will add a few words. In case of wine, as I told, wine is heavily linked to a place. And there is cornerstone in wine industry, and not only in wine industry, but in food industry, especially in Europe, which is called geographical indications. And of course, the production is limited, and of course, producers and policymakers should make everything happen for those limited products to be authentic, and to make sure that the end customer gets really the product behind the label. So I think there is lots of potential, not only wine industry, but also in like cheese industry or any other industry
Totally.
that's using GIs.
Yeah.
Right.
For us, actually, the biggest limiting factor, I would say, it's speed. Definitely, because at least there's one problem we don't have, and that's a bear market, to be honest. Because but what we do is not mainly depending on attractiveness of the crypto market and stuff like that. Of course, it would help in terms of attention and everything, but our core business model is just not depending on that, right? We just recently launched our Web2 campaign when it comes to the lamp plot sale. So on Instagram and so on, people will now and are now aware of the lamp plots that they can buy without any kind of crypto knowledge and all that things. So that are things we can push, and we did already. I think that's, by the way, really a huge potential also in regards to the Cardano Foundation. That's why I really appreciate how we work together, because that's, I think, a big chance to onboard a big possibility and opportunity to onboard a lot of people, especially if the bull market might set in soon, because then we have two factors coming together. But in general, for us, speed, so meaning not only growing the community of lamp plot owners, but at the same time to prepare the launch of the app that will be beginning of next year. So that is a combination of factors that makes us work day and night, like I guess you guys are also doing, and a lot of creators here in the audience.
Right. Yes. Well, thank you all once again for joining us on stage, and to everyone in the audience, thank you as well. And if you have any questions, I'm sure you'll find our panelists out in the audience or on the booths. So thank you very much.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you.